Hi everyone. So today we are going to be working out of our orange packets and we are going to go to page 4. So I am going to teach you something called U-substitution. So sometimes when we're factoring, there's something in the problem that's kind of throwing us off, that just kind of looks yucky, we just kind of don't like it. So, like for example, in number 1, we have m to the 4th and m squared. And we're used to that just being a squared term and then a term to the first power. So, if you want, you could pick a variable and, I don't know, pick any variable you want other than m, but I'm going to use the variable u. I am going to let u represent m squared. So, if I now kind of rewrite this, if u equals m squared, then m to the 4th, I could rewrite it as u squared minus 3u minus 10. So I've made it look nicer. Now this is a trinomial. There's no greatest common factor. This is going to factor into 2 sets of parentheses. I know the signs are going to be different, and I need 2 numbers that multiply to 10 and combine to give you a 3. They will subtract to give you a 3. So, and I want a negative 3, so I'm going to use a negative 5 and a positive 2. So, then the last step is you're going to have to substitute your value back in for u. So u, we assigned it to equal m squared. So I'm just going to substitute that back in. Now double check. Does this factor anymore? There's nothing common. There's 2 terms. It's not a difference of 2 perfect cubes or squares or anything like that. So that doesn't factor. Same thing here. So you're done. So that was like an easy example. You could have also just factored this right down here and realized to get m to the 4th you need m squared and m squared. So you didn't have to use u substitution. Same thing here. Something like this, though, it's kind of looking a little crazy. So when I first look at this, I notice there are 3 terms. I look for positives and negatives, plus and minus signs that are not in parentheses. So I realize this is a full term, here's a term, here's a term. So first I'm looking for anything common, and there's nothing common. All right, so this 3k minus 1 in parentheses is kind of throwing me off. So I am going to let u represent 3k minus 1. All right, so now I'm going to rewrite this. So this is really just 7u squared plus 26u minus 8. So now it looks a little bit easier. So here's a trinomial. It's not perfect squares, perfect cubes. So I'm going to have to do my AC method. I'm going to go 7 times 8. And that gives me 56. So I'm kind of doing work over to the side. Now I need 2 numbers that multiply to 56 that are going to combine to give me 26. And I know they're going to subtract to give me a 26. So 1 times 56, that's not going to work. This is even, so 2 divides into there. 2 goes into 5 twice. You have a remainder of 1. Bring down the 6. 2 goes into 16 8 times. And if I subtract these, I can get a positive 26. So my 28 has to be positive, my 2 has to be negative. So now I'm going to do the factoring by grouping. So I'm going to rewrite this. So here's my 7u squared. It really doesn't matter which one you pick, but 28 has something easily common with 7, so I'm going to write that next. Plus 28u, and then I have the minus 2u minus 8. So I can kind of split this down the middle. Factor by grouping. This has a greatest common factor of 7u. So then I factor that out, and I have u plus 4 left over. And remember, when you're factoring by grouping, this second set of parentheses has to have a u plus 4. So I have to now factor out a negative 2. So here's that negative 2, and then I have my u plus 4. All right, again, this is still a binomial. Here's my subtraction sign, 2 terms. There's a greatest common factor of u plus 4, and then I have the 7u minus 2 left over. So we're done factoring, but now we have to substitute this back in. All right, so This U I'm going to replace with the 3k minus 1, and then I still have the plus 4. Now over here, I'm going to kind of do a darker set of parentheses. I have 7 times U, but U is this binomial, so I need to put that in parentheses so I remember to distribute. And then don't forget there's still that negative 2 here, and then my parentheses. So I just have to clean this up. All right, so I can combine some like terms. So I have a 3k and then a plus 3. Then over here I'm going to distribute. So I have 21k minus 7, and then I still have the minus 2. So I can combine some more like terms. So I have the 3k plus 3, 21k minus 9. So I feel like I'm done, but again, double check. Can this be factored more? Oh, yes, it can. There is a 3 that is a greatest common factor. Can this be factored more? Yes. There is also a 3 that's a greatest common factor. So the way to just kind of write this now is to pull both 3's in front and multiply them together. So final answer simplified is 9, the factor k plus 1, and the factor 7k minus 3. So there is your answer. So there's more problems you can practice on here. I am not going to do any more, but I will give you the answers because the answers to this page are not anywhere in this packet. So I'm just going to kind of write them over the side. So this one turns out to be a squared minus 8 when you're all done, and an a squared plus 6. So you can practice it here if you want. This turns out to be a problem just like number 3 here. So there's a lot of work, kind of write small. It's going to take a lot of space. And then the final answer is a 2 factored out, and then a 6z minus 5 as a factor, and then 8z minus 3. Number 5 is different. So kind of when you're done, I'll put the answer down here at the bottom. It's a 3a minus 7 squared. So that's it. And then this last one turns out to be 18 minus 5p times 17 minus 4p. All right, so there's problems here to practice. There are also problems in your white packet, which is section 7, factor by substitution. Again, this one you don't need to substitute, but this one you would. Oh, this one's crazy hard. It's weird. You know, it's you really got to understand exponents well. This one, if you wanted to skip it, you could. There's nothing on the test that looks like that. So that one's it's hard. It's quite a challenge. But the answers to this are in the back. So, you know, you have 2 more here to practice, and then you have, you know, a whole bunch in your orange packet. So this is where, if you know what you're doing, you're just going to try the more challenging ones. And if you're still struggling, here's some less challenging, and then kind of the more challenging back there. Okay? All right, so have fun and keep working. And the goal is to eventually, you know, kind of get this whole orange packet and white packet done. Remember, answers are in the back of both packets. All right, have a great day. Bye.